Are you a breeder looking to showcase your show pigs? With a Walton Webcasting Show Pig Shoot, we are your go-to video service for capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top-quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk to pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner, Laird Premium Blend Genetics from premiumblendgenetics.com. Next up, it's Beck's Hybrids from beckshybrids.com. And here comes Showright from showright.com. Coming around, we have Brad Howe Ford from bhiford.com. And here comes First Farmers Bank and Trust from ffbt.com. And rounding out the racers, it's Kennedy Ventures from kennedyventuresok.com. On the track and in the ring, it's all about collaboration and teamwork. Join us in honoring our premier partners because together they're the driving force of the livestock industry.
Welcome everybody to the Winning Tradition Pig Sale preview here. This is our 9th annual event here in Lebanon, and certainly excited about this group. Just a little bit of information before we get into the pigs. The sale will be this afternoon. It will follow Sweethearts. Estimated time would be, around 4 p.m.-ish, but we'll keep you stay tuned there. We'll do a quick walkthrough prior to the start of the sale, where we'll just kind of walk them through for those that are here in person. We'll have 60 head that we'll kind of roll through here, 20 breeders. We've added a few this year, and I think the set represents a lot of quality as we go through them. You can go to Show Pig. You can view all the lots there, and if you have time. And then if you're not here in person, we'll have online bidding on CCI. We'll start into the preview, and we'll just kind of go by pin order, breeder, no particular order. And as we go, I'll try to give you tags, and then I'll let Hunter Langhoff and Ben Boble, who are here, describe the pigs for you as we go. So we'll jump right into it. I think we're good. Ready? All right, first pig in, Danner Livestock. This would be tagged 401, crossbred gilt. She's a bell-bottom blues, cotton appin. This one's dam would have been 3rd overall light cross gilt at the Winter National last year. First litter gilt here that they like quite well.
Yeah, we got a pair of them in here now, and we'll talk about the blue gilt. And caught looking at them last night quickly, and she hit us very hard in terms of trying to make a sale order and looking at these hogs. I think she's big, she's ready to roll, but man, she is so comfortable off either end of her skeleton. I thought this blue gilt in the light cross division, I know everyone's kind of after these hogs. This one looks like she can play pretty hard, and we talk about the Kilmer stuff on the bottom side of this thing's pedigree. You know she's going to feed. I thought extremely good blue project to start off Danner's lots here.
Next one in there is tag 402. This is a cross boar pig Sheridan. 403, I'm sorry. 403 that Landry has is the predominantly black white sock one there in the center. 403 is a crossbred boar, pay to play, back slap, never before. Dam here would have came from Boble. And traces to the same sow family that had the $70,000 King's gilt win.
Yeah, as we get started here in Danner's pen, really nice set here. I'd echo what Hunter said, and 403 would be the one we'll talk about next, and I can talk about both of them, Hunter, if you want me to. 403 would be the more, sock-footed or a partial belted pig, short-bodied, stout, heavy-boned. That sow would have came from us, has done a nice job for Danner. Then the more traditional belt one would be a Sheridan. Those Sheridans have been really good this spring. Sheridan and Pulse would be a pair of conch sons that Purple Power bought from Heimer. So really nice pair. I think I guess we talk about this often, but feeding window to me these are stout pigs that can stretch a pinch, but still could be August type of show bearers.
That's Danner Livestock, 3 consignments there. Next in is 650, and a firm that's been on absolute tear, and they bring 2 breeds that I'd say they're been very well known for and very successful with. We'll start with the white one. That's tag 404. That's a Chester White boar pig, all-inclusive, making waves. Geyer dam raised the reserve barrow there at Kansas City, reserve barrow at Wisconsin, reserve Chester at Kansas State Fair, reserve Guild Music. It goes on and on. I guess it's built in. Looks like she's one at the highest levels on the South family. We'll maybe start there first.
Yeah, if you guys have the sheets or are looking at the sheets, there's an absolute paragraph describing this Chester Bear, and Blake just read the first nip of it, but it's huge. And this hog is awfully good because the mom has raised a bunch of winners. And then phenotypically looking at this Chester Bear, I'm telling you guys, this thing hits me hard just in terms of a skeletal perspective. He is so comfortable off either end of his skeleton. And to find Chester Bears this wide, coming and going, but genuine off either end of their skeleton. He's got a flag tail to boot. I like this Chester Bear quite well, Ben.
I'll hit the next one here. Tag 405 is the Poland. That's the boar pig. He is a Viper, 983 pitch black, and like the Chester, has a whole paragraph of winners, and I'll just hit a couple. Dam's a mate to back 9 in the reserve Poland at Denver in 25. Dam herself was champion Poland at Breeders' Cup last year for the Heggie. Grandma is the mom of the dryer sow that won Expo and summer type in 23.
Yeah, the Poland consignment there from 650 is a really neat pig, and I think the combination that he brings to the table in terms of immaturity from his shoulder forward, he's a sweet-headed bear that's got a great big arm, he's good-footed, he's loose at the ground. Those are things, I think, from a Poland perspective that makes this pig kind of an elite type of prospect, short-bodied but still good in terms of his build. That's a neat Poland pig from 650.
Really good pair. Thanks, guys, for bringing some of your best, and appreciate you being here. Next in is Watson, and brings us an interesting group that I think will be fun to see, and normally known, very well known for his Hampshires, but he brought some crossbreds that we think are pretty special. Tag 406 is where we'll start, crossbred boar pig. This is a Stinger Witness. This pig is, he's got some good descriptions here, but I'll just tell you that we had this, there's 3 of them that he's going to bring you out of this 14 litter that I think are really good.
Yeah, we're going to kind of jumble back and forth, and Ben and I are going to describe each one of them and see which one lands in our ring, but I get to describe this bear, and I'm excited to, and I think we're going to see a sister coming next that Ben will talk about that hit us hard last night, but this male hog I think is extremely good, just in terms of the feeding kind like Watsons are known for. This thing is short back, creased up, and absolutely wide and genuine off either end of his skeleton. I think a good feeding hog right here, but man, he's got some extras to boot. This Stinger bear is awfully good. 14-3. Lot 406.
Continuing on here with Watson and the other 2 litter mates to the one we just saw. Tag 407 is the kind of chromed up, flashy colored gilt there that Hayden has. Again, Stinger, Witness, and then 408 is going to be the boar pig that is driving the belted boar pig. Yeah.
I'll take, I guess I can talk about both these real quick. 407 would be the crossbred gilt there, the neat colored gilt. And boy, I think as you started her foundation in terms of foot size and bone, that's a big arm gilt that's still really neat looking. I think immaturity's good on her. And I think, we talk about show gilts all the time. This one has sow feature to me in terms of her head and her bone work. And then the wider belted pig in lot 408, another Stinger Witness from Watson. And man, I tell you what, I liked his first one, Hunter. I think this one here rivals that last one in terms of flexibility. squareness of bill. That's a memorable view going away and coming to you. Great headed hogs that are stout in terms of their skull. Really nice trio from Watson.
All right, next in are the Watson Hampshire Gilts. A pair of these are 13 litter pig litter mates, born December 11th. They are 4/3 Vice, and these 4/3. He's a 361 son. He says that he purchased the Expo last year with 3 other breeders. Their mother was champion Hamp Gilt at the 24 Louisville deal. And he's pretty pumped about these. So 409 would be here in the center of the ring, maybe a little thinner belted. 410 would be closest to the camera now with the green whip or the green stinger whip on them. That'd be 410.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Watson Hampshires here, and then crossbreds hit us hard, but this is what they're known for. Feedable, square-billed, comfortable Hampshire Gilts and purebreds alike, and I like these quite well. And the thin belts, 409, directly in the center of the ring, that one's just a shot more elevated in terms of her kind. She's a little bigger in her stature. I like that as a big ring gilt. You're looking at that Louisville Indy time frame, and I believe these can go to a Midwest State Fair as well in the gilt division. I like that thin belted one pretty well, just in terms of her elevation and squareness. 410's the stouty for sure. In terms of muscle shape, she's a shot more ready up high in terms of her muscle up high, but she's still square built and comfortable down low. I think 2 square built Hampshires with extras. They're different in terms of their kind. I like them both quite well. Thin belt's 409, the wider belt's 410 on the far side. Good pair from Watson.
Next up, a pair of Yorkshire Gilts from Chad Day. They're both, I guess they're litter mates here. January date of birth. Dream On, Big Paw. Very deep litter, as Chad says. And their mom would have won her class at Perry in 24 and then raised the champion York Barrow at Perry in 25. Grandmother raised the $54,000 Bloomberg Gilt that was very memorable there in 22.
Yeah, no. I guess the first thing I saw in the paper, Blake, is these came in is that Bloomberg, that gilt was a grandmother, and that gilt that year I thought was just a commanding type of Yorkshire gilt, one of those that I remember through the ages of Yorkshire gilt showing. I think we got a different pair of them out here. The 411 would be the Harrier gilt that the young lady's showing, and that would be a really neat gilt. She's probably not as advanced at this point of her lifetime, but boy, in terms of proportionality, for a Yorkshire, I mean, that gilt has the right type of stoutness, right type of length of body. Length of hip's still really good in her, and comfort is awesome. Landry's on the bigger gilt. That'd be 412, I believe. A little more advanced in terms of her just bloom at this point of the game, but still good at the ground, very good in terms of her foot quality. Length of body's awesome. I think an awesome pair from Chad.
Canal drops in here next with tag 413. Crossbred, this is a crip. Deep State lead the way out of the first litter guild here.
Yep, Canal comes in next, and I tell you what, we've seen big descriptions, we've seen lots of numbers, and Canal brings in a pig, has no description right here, and brings one of them, but he doesn't need to because this pig's high quality, and I love that thing's pedigree. Deep State lead the way, and Ben talked earlier about just frame size and feeding window and endpoint. It doesn't really matter on this pig. Buy him, see what happens, and see where he wants to go. But man, he is dense, he's stout, he's square, he's genuine. If you're up on him here, guys, his rear toes, his front feet are awesome. I really like this bear just in terms of his frame size and his moderation. Not sure where he ends up in terms of his endpoint, but I tell you what, this pig will be heard from someday. I really like this Canal pig. Lot 413, Deep State lead the way.
Next up is Loudermilk, bringing you 2-spot littermate male pigs that drew a big crowd last night when we had them out. We'll start here. They tag, I guess they're littermates. They're both Spot On, Big Daddy Throwdown, and the Spot Ons he's been pretty excited about, and I think he purposely mated this Big Daddy sounds like that came from Boyson and raised their best litter this last fall. So there is 414, which is the barrow, and then 415 is a boar pig.
Yeah, we'll start with the barrow that Troy's on there, 414. And I tell you what, I don't know if these are mates to the guild he has in Sweethearts or not, but I thought she looked really neat last night in the preview, yesterday afternoon in the preview. Here's a barrow to me that has all the big ring pieces in terms of stoutness. Really a bulky kind of barrow, but still immature. And good-footed. He's comfortable. It looks like to me he's going to feed really good. Then we've got our boar pig, 415, a little more elevated. I think it's probably a little sharper dressed up front in terms of his look ahead of his blade. And, boy, that's a captivating look that pig gives you from the side. A really nice pair of spots from Loudermilk.
All right, next in is Pruitt with a pair of littermate Chester boar pigs. They're WD-40, change of plan. Dam of the boar here, or these two, was the reserve champion Chester Guild at the 24 Indiana State Fair, and the Grand Dam was the champion Chester Guild at the 2020 Indiana State Fair. Really good pair here, 416, 417, both intact males.
Yeah, Pruitt comes in next, and what he's known for is making elite Chesters. And what's neat about having the sheet in our hand and the pedigrees is the mother that he's raised a champion at Chester at Indiana, and the grandmother did the same thing. So the power's in the blood, and I think that's interesting. Just gives you that much more confidence to buy them. This 417 hit me hard just in terms of look, elevation, and squareness from the side, but still matching it with enough bone work and stoutness down low. This 416 is an absolute truck in terms of skull and arm, and I'm not sure if we got barrow buyers or boar buyers, but I think he's maybe dual purpose in terms of the density that he offers. But man, they're so good about their front knee and their chest and their angles off either end of their framework. I think an awesome pair from Pruitt here that he brings. It's going to be a dang good set of Chesters that the sale's going to offer you today.
Hunter, one thing just to mention. This sale last year, you would have brought a Chester male through that won Expo.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I know we talk about we're looking at pigs that would be state fair pigs, but I bought that pig here last year, and he was a champion Chester at Expo. So I think some of these purebreds especially have a window that we can get them and show them in June and July. So don't be afraid of that.
Really good pair here. All right, Pruitt's third consignment is a crossbred boar pig, tag 418. This is a test-of-time cotton appin. Mom here was grand market hog at the Henry County Fair in 24, and then had a gilt this summer that's been hitting multiple backdrops there in Oklahoma so far.
Yeah, I would say Pruitt's crossbred entry. I don't know that you can see it on camera or for those standing along ringside. That's a big back. That's a big rolled up back. That's a stout look to that pig's head. He's got a really comfortable look out of his rear too, and a good view going away. That's an interesting pig, Hunter. I don't know where he fits from a size perspective, but man, that's a great view going away. Big pin set, big back. Interesting crossbred boar pig here from Pruitt.
All right, tag 419 next from Denhart. This is a crossbred boar pig, unrivaled, roll call, quite frankly. Grandma's the mom of the $41,000 crib at the opener, and the $20,000 gilt in the first online sale. She's a mate to the popular Dryer Blue Gilt that won a bunch last year. First time gilt litter, and they're pretty pumped about these. Great grandma is the mom of Relentless as well.
Man, lots of numbers that we see on our sheet here in terms of high-dollar pigs, but what's also neat about the Denhart crew is not only do they sell them as well as anyone in the country, you hear about them. Their boars are generating, their bears are winning pig shows, the gilts are continuing to surface for people, and I tell you what, this 419 is one of my personal favorites in the sale, and I saw him last night, but man, he gets spit shined up and ready to roll today, and that's a sale highlight for sure, and to be that dense, that stout, and that opened up, but still just absolutely flawless in terms of skeleton. I think it's hard to do. This thing looks like a Midwest State Fair contender, and then you look at his pedigree, he's only going to continue to get better. 419, unrivaled roll call, quite frankly, from Denhart's pretty dang good.
All right, next in is Mortensen, pair of littermate crossbred boars, tag 420 and 421. They are far and wide, lead the way, backdrop. Of course, far and wide is on a tear and just made the Grand Barrow there at Fort Worth. And the south side he's got here is one that he's made the mating a few times and kept multiple sows back. So one he likes quite well.
We'll talk about 421 would be the partial belted pig that Kate's on there. And I tell you what, that pig just hits me as a good feeding kind of pig that's really elevated. He's a pig that's good in terms of a stoutness of feature, great in terms of body shape and look. A pig to me that looks like he's got a big window. And then another pig, 420, is the outlier of this pair in terms of bone and feature. Man, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but that's a big arm, that's a big rear leg that functions appropriately. Good pair for Mortensen.
Next in is 422 from Mortensen. Crossbred boar pig is a Clarity, lead the way, backdrop, and this will be a mate to the Sweethearts gilt that he's selling here a little bit later here today, and then the mom would have been one that the Wilt family showed there in Michigan that he got back.
Those first two come out and a little different in terms of this one's kind, but I tell you what, this thing, when it is come to fighting weight time, it's going to have an absolutely enormous back because he is so good in terms of his moderation. That thing's going to be rolled up, and he is today, but this thing just looks like a Midwest show bearer to me in terms of his skull, his arm, his stature. He looks like a contender in terms of his skeleton and build and balance, and I like this pig's pedigree, just a little bit different. Clarity, lead the way backdrop, and to have Mort bring one of his very best here holds true, and he's been selling the bejesus out of him as he should, because he brings pigs that look like this. And if you guys want to look at this hog, go look at his Sweetheart's Guilt. That should give you even more confidence to put this show bear on feed for a Midwest State Fair. This lot 422 is a highlight for sure. Clarity, lead the way backdrop for Mort.
Next up is Robin Ridge, and we'll start with 424, the boar pig that's in the ring. That's a game time wild ride. 427 would be the gilt there that goes across the center. She is a money line wild ride.
Yeah, we'll start with the boar pig, the Hayden with the black coats got on for those watching online. 424 boar pig from Robin Ridge, and for those that are watching and needing a pig to maybe that hits a different window from a gross perspective, these hogs have some size to them, but they're still very high quality. That's a stout featured pig that's got some arm, he's got some look. I think that hog's got just a bigger feeding window maybe than some we've seen. You're looking for someone to show in June and July. I think he could fit that window. Landry's on 427. That'd be the crossbred gilt. She'd be a money line wild ride. Man, from a distance, that one profiles really, really nice. She's good in terms of her lines, good in terms of her feature. Nice pair from Robin Ridge.
Next in is 426 for Mike. This is a Berkshire gilt. Date of birth be December 20th. Ball and chain, top it off.
Yeah, we're not going to run too many out here by themselves, but I think this one deserves that. And Robin Ridge is known for making some dang good purebreds. They're real-world stock in terms of just foot quality and head shape and look and design and just structure. And this thing, I think, has got some extras to boot in this Berkshire gilt. December 20th born. You can show her just about anywhere. And I'm not telling you she's the readiest in terms of her body shape, but, man, she's real-world in terms of her skeleton. I love her toe shape. I love her length of hip and her side. You take that one home, you get her on feed. I think she's got quality all throughout her. I love her build. I love her skeleton. 426, December 20th born, ball and chain, top it off from Robin Ridge.
All right, we'll finish up Robin Ridge with tag 423, which is there in the center. I believe Landry has 423, and that is a Berkshire boar, upward top hand. The LSU champion gilt is the Dam and out of upward, which has been on fire and also won LSU in 23. So that's 423, and then we'll also have in here 425. Which is a Berkshire boar, litter mate to the one we just saw, that gilt that was in the last group.
Yeah, we'll start with 423. Landry's on there, and then the blue shirt. Man, these look like a good pair of feeding ones to me, Hunter. And I know that you see way more pigs than I do, but finding good Berkshire bears that are good on their feet and legs, that have some comfort and some flexibility, but yet enough stoutness. I would term both these as those kind of pigs that they're not real ready today, which is what you'd expect from Mike. They're good real world barras that are stout featured. They're immature, very comfortable. 423 and 425 from Robin Ridge.
I want to continue to talk about that because, like Ben said, it's so hard to find pigs that are good on their feet, their toes. Their length of body is extremely good. These Berkshires are tough to find, and I tell you what, look these up in the back. They got a good pedigree. Their mom just won one of the biggest shows in the country down there, and I know Ben's visited that neck of the woods more than me. These pigs are awfully good.
All right, next in, tag 428 from Kilmer. This is a light cross barrow, a ragweed, rumor has it. Not many notes here for you guys, but I don't know if that pig really needs it. I'll let you guys describe it.
Blake says not many notes. We have absolutely 0 notes on this pig. But like he said, it doesn't need to have too much fluff and write about it because I'm telling you, this pig's rear foot about hits the back of his front dew claws. He's so long about his hip, and he's so square off either end of his skeleton. To have a hog that comfortable built, that wild looking, and still have enough feature down low is hard to do. And we all know Kilmer's known for making them square and comfortable. I'm telling you what, this one's got the extra density that we're after. The blue division happens at about all the Midwest State Fairs now, and I'm not so sure this one can't run at any of them. But we want to win the blues. That's great. I'm not so sure this one can't run with the belts as well. Awesome built one here from Kilmer, but he's got extras. I like this blue belt quite well.
And I'll just jump in, Hunter, on this pig just for a second and just tell you that, as hard as this pig hits you, I promise you from that place, that pig will continue to get better.
For sure.
That is a guarantee from Kilmer Stock Farms.
Makes you that much more confident to buy him.
Kilmer drops in the next pair, 429 and 430. These are litter mates, crossbred barrows, here to stay. Click it.
We'll talk about 429 here real quick. You'd be the one closer to the camera, the wider belted, kind of more traditional mark pig. Man, that's a stout one. That's extra short bodied. You see him from a distance, and man, his length to body and length to hip and length to neck ratio is really interesting to me. He's got big hairy limbs, and it looks immature in terms of his body shape. Looks like he'll feed. Then we get a little more elevated one in 430, and it would be, I guess they're a pair of mates, aren't they? Yeah, 430. Boy, that's a stout head. That's a big noggin. That's a big jawline, big arm. And again, like Blake said, the Kilmer deal, they feed as good as any. Jim and his crew don't focus on just making those big, ready baby pigs. They bring them to a sale, and you get what you get. And these hogs look like they'll feed to me.
Really good pair from Kilmer. .431 is next, rounding out Kilmer's pen. This is a Hampshire barrow. He is a boxcar fax.
Again, absolutely 0 notes. And Justin and I sat on 2 buckets last night and kind of watched everything. And we both asked, is that a Hampshire barrow? And if you have to ask yourself if he's a Hampshire barrow, that means he's probably a pretty good hog. And he is a Hampshire barrow, and he looks like he can play at a Midwest State Fair at a high level and even sneak in the top 5s, to be real honest with you, because that pig's just so good about his skeleton. His front knee's good. He's square behind. But, man, that's a moderate-bodied one that's ready up high. I like his head shape. I like his look. I like his design. The only thing I'd maybe change is his attitude, but that's an awfully good pig that is so flawless in terms of skeleton. I think Kilmer brings a heck of a set. I'm not so sure this Hampshire barrow ain't his highlight.
Next in is Sheese, and we'll start here with the single in 432. This Duroc gilt is a 15 litter. She's a bear paw, no ears main character. And just a note here, this is a mate to the $20,000 gilt that he sold online just the other day.
Yeah, I guess when you think about what red breeder has been the most dominant, in my opinion, in the last year or so, Sheets would be at the very top of that list. He had an unbelievable run last year and continues to bring out baby pigs that look like they'll feed. This gilt's maybe a little different than some he brings, and in terms of maybe not the stoutest one in the world, but boy, that's an awesome look from the side. Very, very comfortable on her feet and legs. Great rib cage. Really good in terms of her lines. I think that looks like not only a big ring type of gilt, but maybe a sow for someone if they're looking to add a kind of a foundation sow from Sheets.
All right, next in is a pair here. 433 is the Duroc gilt. That is a Clockwork Slumlord Disruption. 435 would be the Duroc Boar Pig. That is a bear paw statement day on 69.7.
You know, we're kind of going back and forth and talking them, and I'd say I'm pretty lucky to talk this pen because absolutely elite set of red hogs that we got here, and kind of just getting my bearings here. But this Duroc gilt got an absolutely waspy look up front in terms of her head and her neck, and she looks like a big ring kind in terms of her length of side and her skeleton. I think that's a neat pig, and like I said, you just buy him from Sheese. He'll help you along the way, and like Ben said, I'm not so sure there's a hotter red breeder right now, but I'm not sure just a breeder in general of livestock than Sheese right here. Kid's doing an awesome job, and this boar pig hit me hard, maybe even a little bit more moderate in terms of his kind, shorter back than the gilt that's out here, but man, absolutely head to die for in terms of stoutness to skull. Getting behind that hog, he's so square and genuine and comfortable. He looks like a contender at that Louisville Expo range, or I guess Indy now. I think that hog's awfully good. A pair of them here that Sheets, kick them out if you're here. If you're online, text them. This pair is awfully special from Sheets.
Tag 434 will finish up the Sheese pen. This is a Clockwork Slumlord Disruption. Would be a mate to the gilt that we just saw.
Yeah, we finish up with I guess this is the last one from Sheets, and a single entry boar pig. What was it, 434? Is that right?
Yep.
Another 29 liter. I know there was a 29 liter gilt we looked at earlier. Man, you want to talk about big feature? This is a stout headed one. That's got a big arm. If you can see on screen how big and square and wide set his toes are and his dew claws up front, I mean, that's a pig that's got some major feature from that perspective. And I think in terms of maturity, I think that pig's a little more immaturity in his body. Certainly one that I think has a big future.
All right, we'll start in with Savage here, and got a red one that's tagged 436, Duroc Boar, All They Want, Crybaby. This All They Want from Bedecker be the very first one they've offered, and he'd be a mate to the $45,000 Sweetheart gilts that the Knauf family bought here, Sweethearts last year, that won a lot of shows. And then The white one is 437. That's a landrace boar. Can't see me. Track record. This is the mom here will be the Schulte sow that he gathered up after she was very successful this last summer. And I think talking to Todd, he's pretty excited about what these white ones are doing here as he gets started in that breed.
Yeah, we'll talk the Savage lots, and not a chance in hell they're going to be broke, but there's a chance that they're going to feed, and they're awfully good. I'll talk this red boar right away. He sold a $40,000 red boar, I believe, last night, and I'm not so sure this one isn't in that same league in terms of head shape, quality, and stoutness. I tell you what, he's an absolute truck coming at you, and he leaves you with the same view in terms of consistency coming and going. I like that red hog quite well. If you want to win a Barra show, cut him, but he looks like a herd boar to me. I like that red boar quite well. And that all they want stuff at Butters is going to be awfully good. This land race hit me like a ton of bricks. Yesterday, just in terms of skeletal quality, look, and design, I'm telling you, this is a real world hog that's been fed a couple times. He's been brushed on with a brush that's 9 miles long, and I'm telling you, these guys are doing it the right way. I saw his sister. She brought 5,000 or 6,000. This might be the best male pig in the litter. Surprised he's letting him go. I think another one that's dual purpose in terms of boar or bear quality. I'll be bidding on this hog. I like him quite well. I think an awfully good pair from Savage.
All right, yeah, get in here, Todd. We need you. All right, we'll finish up Savage with 438, 439, both Hampshire Barrows, Hairy Bear on Smoke Sister. There's a lot here, but these Hairy Bears have been very popular, ones that Todd's very confident in. And just a note, just this last year, we mentioned that on the Chester of Pruitt's, but he would have sold the champion Barrow at Kentucky that came out of the sale last year that Danner picked up and sent down there.
Yeah, we've got a neat pair of Hampshire Barrows here from Savage Genetics. Hayden's on 438, kind of the more painted up Hampshire Barrow, and I think that one's his elevation and proportionality with bone and stoutness. Man, that one looks like he'll feed to me, and I think. I don't know what these are aged for, but I would tell you that they could be shown in June, July, August. You just kind of get them home and get them on feed and see what you got there. And for those that have seen Harry Barrett Savage, I mean, that pig's very, very impressive. Landry's got 439, and he's different than the mate out here, more modern in his kind. That's a broad view coming and going. Round-bodied and stout, what you'd expect from Savage. A very good pair, a very different pair of Hampshire Bears. I'd ask you to study both those and decide where they fit for you, but a neat pair from Savage for sure.
Next in is Riggs Thurston. Tag 440 will start off his trio. This crossbred gilt is a relentless, tricked out punisher. Mom was the Grand Guild at Madison County there in 23. Grandma is a litter mate to the Reserve Grand at Indy in 22 that the Rodoball family would have had.
I'm sure we'll talk about it a couple times as Riggs brought a heck of a set of them here to us, but I believe he sold blue strips out of this very ring last year. Right. I'm not sure what he brought. We'll talk about that. Blake will talk about that a little bit later, but similar in terms of his color pattern and what his impact is on this light cross division for the Danner crew's been second to none. This blue gilt's awfully special, guys, and a neat relentless hog. They start green. They're comfortable in terms of their skeleton, and they get absolutely wacky stout in terms of their bone work, and I think that's what this gilt will do. She's a little greener in terms of her body shape, but all the build, the skeleton, the angles are right. I know we've said that a few times in the sale, but these guys are continuing to raise them comfortable, and man, they get stout with age. I like this blue gilt for a light cross division setting. Like Ben said, I think this one can show early in June at Expo in the lightweight division. I think she'd go all the way into the fall.
All right, Riggs's final two would be tag 441, 442. They are litter mates, Relentless, Cottonap, and Pat This. Mom would be one that he picked up from Kilmer this last year. So first litter gilt here.
Yeah, we'll talk about the wider belted, more painted up pig that is in the center of the ring there that Gentry's on. And I would say you could term both these as the stout ones, Hunter. The bigger, more extended, more elevated ones, the painted up one, but still, for a pig that's green in terms of his condition, boy, that's a big-legged, big-footed one. Boy, that's a big set of front paws he's got. And then the little guy that Riggs is on, I don't know that we've seen a pig that has a bigger arm and a bigger front leg for his size that come through the ring today. And I don't know where he fits size-wise. I know that you can buy these and take them home and put them on feed, and heck, he could be a July, August one, or he could be a fall one for that matter. I think the key is with these crossbreds is that you don't necessarily term where they're going to go when you buy them and just feed them and see where they fit. I think a really neat pair there from Riggs.
Kyle's on 442. It's the smaller belted one. 441 is the wider belt here that Gentry has. Next in is Thompson Show Pigs, and Austin's been about as hot as anybody in terms of making them sell high, and then ones that also win shows. And we got two examples here. 443 will be the red one. That Duroc barrow is a Turn the Tide Jumpman Statement Day. Mom is a litter mate to the 4th overall D3 at Expo. And then 444 would be the Cross Gilt. First Blood, top shelf, doing this. Mom was top 5 at Ohio circuit a couple times ago.
Yeah, another pen I'm excited to talk about. We kind of swung through them last night quickly, and I talked to a couple guys, and they say, "Oh, what was your favorite couple pigs at the winning tradition?" And every time I talked to them, I talked about this Red Bear, and he is one of my absolute very favorites. And Austin's absolutely been turning them out. And like Blake said, not only selling them at a high level, but winning in the same tune. And this Red Bear just looks so expensive in terms of his look from the side, his chest, his arm, his skull. But still looks like a Red Bear is supposed to in terms of just a little bit greener in terms of his muscle shape and just maturity pattern. He's just so hard to pick a hole in. I love that Red Bear for a Midwest State Fair setting. But this cross gilt's a stouty as well, and stout about her noggin, big in her ear set, and she's going to continue to get stouter with time and age. And you can talk my neck of the woods. We show some market gilts out here. It's a lot of breeding gilts. I think that one's dual purpose. She's just good stock. She's heavy bone. She's square build. She's long about her hip. I love her jaw, I love her arm, I love her skull, and I like her pedigree as well. I think an awfully good pair that Thompson brings you.
Next in, 445. Thompson is a crossbred boar, Coldplay, top shelf, unashamed. Mom was a Goodman, shown by the Goodman family. They're in Georgia that won a bunch, and then Grandma was the gilt that was very popular that Kip and Edie had a couple winters ago.
Yeah, Austin's last pig here, tag 445, is one that comes in the ring and demands your attention. That's a long neck pig that's still stout about his head, and what I think is the most intriguing about him is he's tall-shouldered, but the angle to his shoulder is still so right. and you go to the ground, that's a heavy bone one that's loose built. In my opinion, I think this one has boar or barra potential from that perspective, and that's for the buyers to determine today. We're not here to say that they've got to be a boar, got to be a barra, but his ability to be comfortable in his spine and his elevation in terms of neck and still be loose made from behind, I think it's a very rare combination right now. I like that one from Austin pretty good.
Good pig. Good pig, 445 Thompson. Rotoball genetic team will start into their consignments, and we'll kick it off with a pair of litter mates. 446 is the Gilt, 447 is the Boar Pig. They are It's Time, Trick Daddy, Never Before. Just a second parity sow here, and her first litter would have had the $9,300 barrel last spring that they sold that went to Ohio and won some shows out there.
I think an interesting pair that Rotoball ring and saw these actually about 10 days or 2 weeks ago when they just came down, and they hit me hard, and man, they've matured extremely well. Ben, if you like bone, how about 447 right there? That's a big arm. That's a ginormous rear leg, and you get him behind that hog, he's impressive. Just in terms of his toe quality, his squareness behind, that's an absolute stout nog and a generator skull. I love his length to side. I think that hog's very interesting. He looks like a bull. He looks like a one that can make an impact for sure. I'm just telling you guys, it's so hard to get him that heavy duty, but still that long hipped. I think that one deserves to get kicked out of his pen a whole bunch here the next couple of hours before this sale starts. And if that one brings a bunch of money, how about owning his sister right there? And I like that hog quite well. Also, she's got the same look, she's got the same quality, but she still looks like a show gilt also, and looks like one that can win a show. These Rotoballs are known for making them comfortable and square and continuing to generate for people. These got the extras that we're after. I think an awfully good pair that Kyle and Steve and Jim bring you. This It's Time stuff's going to work for these guys.
All right, next in for Rotoball would be a couple purebred barrows. 448 is the Duroc, 449 is the Hampshire, both barrows. The red one would be a Testimony, Burning Roses, and the Hampshire is a Glacier Private Stock.
Yeah, we'll start with 448, the red barra first, and maybe not getting showed the best out here by Austin, but that's a good pig. I love his length of body. I love his feature, his looseness of skeleton, and that pig's still got a really nice, just hard shape to his back. He's a round-bodied barra. I mean, that one looks like he's going to feed like a dream. Yeah. Then our Hampshire barra that Kyle's on will be tagged 449. Elevation, look, muscle shape, comfort, good, really nice pair of purebred barras from Rotoball. What? Huh?
All right, we're gonna get into the two more purebred barrows from the Rotoball team. The 450 would be the Yorkshire Barrow, silver lining by all means. And then the 451 is the Berkshire Barrow. That's a chain link face guard.
I think a good pair to, I believe, wrap up the Rotoball crew, and we've had some interesting parts and pieces in this set from them, and man, it's deep. It's quality. I know these guys got a Sweethearts hog as well, but they brought their very best to this sale, and that held a testament to these guys. They're bringing quality. This Yorkshire Barrow, I'm not sure where he ends up, but looks like a Midwest State Fair Barrow. Man, he's long-hipped, he's comfortable, he's good-looking from the side, he's got a stout jaw. I like that Yorkshire Barrow quite well. This Burke hit us hard last night, just whipping through them quick. I know they sold a couple Berkshires pretty high. They got a Borat Danners that'll make your head spin, and I'm not sure if that lineage is in this pig's pedigree, but this Berkshire Bear is awfully good. We've said that about a couple of them. They get long, they get tall. This thing is moderate, he's dense, he's square, and he's genuine. These hogs are only going to continue to get better. 451 is that Berkshire Bear's notch, or that lot, the number, excuse me. I think an awfully good pair to wrap up the Rotoball set.
All right, next in will be the trace consignments, and we'll start off with this crossbred gilt tag 452. She is a Kong, buckle up, nothing to hide. We would have had our live sale there on Thursday night, and would offer choice lot and the litter of 56s here, and that litter was extremely popular. Mom's a young sow that came from Stolquist, and we actually would have been shown a couple times ago. It was reserved grand at their county for the Rotoball family. One that we like quite well to get started.
Yeah, I was at Trace there before their sale and saw this litter of 56s. I thought it was a highlight litter for sure, and I'm not sure which one of this pair I would have taken if I'd have bought them, but I certainly can tell you that there's no lack in quality of the gilt that's left, and this Kong deal has been good for them and good for a lot of people. This gilt's ability to have that type of immaturity up front but still be really stout from their back. Very comfortable in terms of her skeleton. A neat paint job. I think that'll be a neat show gilt, but also if you're looking to add a sow, I think this one is definitely one that can be should be on your short list from that perspective. Very nice way to start off Trace's consignments here at Winning Tradition.
All right, next pair the trace will drop in. It'd be 453, which is the barrow there, and then 454 is the cross gilt. The barrow would be a mainline, Trick Daddy, Stay Classy. This is the mom would be the McGuire gilt that we bought from OIE, where she was fourth out there, and then in her first litter, a Driving Force, were very popular and did very well. Her second litter had Unrivaled that produced a boar pig at PT. So that is the one that Nate is Pumpkin Spice. Nate Myers is named there at the farm. 453, 454 cross gilt, unrivaled, buckle up, quite frankly timber. This was out of a very deep litter as well, and we would offer to her mates there on Thursday night. We've always liked this one in particular. Thought she was kind of unique from the rest. Mom came from S Squared, litter mate to Hang Tight, who's been on a tear. And then she's the mom of the Holderly gilt that was supreme there at North American, and then reserve gilt there at the Winter National, and then Chloe Kemp's reserve at Tulsa. So one we're pretty pumped on. That's 454 lacrosse gilt.
along right up there, and the Trace guys have been out on an absolute tear. And we'll talk about here pumpkin spice and everything nice here in 453 and past color. That is one of the best hogs that you'll see today, just in terms of an absolutely wild, different look up front. If you can show that hog light cross in some states, that's fine. I believe Iowa, Indiana, and surrounding states, that's probably a dark, but it doesn't matter. That hog is quality, and I love his head shape. I love his design from the side. I'll be honest, I think he's just going to be different out there in terms of his look and his color pattern. I think that only adds to his value there for that cross Ribera, and a neat pedigree to boot. A main line on that OIE sow of theirs, and I believe the mom of that pig sold a $90,000 boar prospect last year in the draft for these guys. So that gives you even more confidence to buy that old pumpkin spice there and send Nate a video every 2-3 days throughout the summer.
Right.
This belted hog, don't let that thing slip through the cracks. She's maybe just a little bit greener in terms of her body shape, but man, absolutely wild looking up front. She's still stout about her skull. For a skinny hog guide, she's got width. That means you know she's going to get it. Another one that you know the pedigree is going to be there. Unrivaled on hang tight sister. Just sounds expensive in breeding value. This hog does cost a little bit. Guess what? What about your ROI? At the end of the year, I believe this hog's mom and the Sweetheart's mom are littermate sisters. So that just tells you just the power that's packed in the blood here at Trace. I really like this pair.
All right, we'll finish up Trace with a couple Duroc barrels, a couple different sizes here for you. 455 is going to be the smaller one there in the center that Riley has. That's a Dagger Statement Day. Statement Day grandma there would be the littermate to Hartzell's Reserve Granite, Indiana a few years ago. And then the other one is 456, the bigger one there, All-American Wanted Statement Day.
Yeah, I would say from a Duroc bear perspective, the Trace Crew's had is a very good run in the last 5 to 7 years. Won some of the biggest bear shows in the Midwest and in the country. And I don't know that we could have a more different kind of pair of red bears in the ring right now. And then not that they both don't have a lot of quality, but very different in what they offer. We'll start with the small one there that Riley's on. That'd be the 455, I believe, Dagger.
Yes.
And that looks like one I think that, Blake, you can stretch into July and August. Looks kind of like a State Fair one to me. Short-bodied, good-necked, immature, but looks like he'll feed. This big one, he's at an All-American 456 there that Landry's on, and this pig's interesting. I've looked at him several times in the back, and that is a big set of bones. That's a big square look to his toes and to his rear joint. To me, that hog's got big-time feature. Take him home, put him on feed, and I think he's going to get better every day. That's an interesting pair from Trace.
All right, 457 is next, and Boble's lone consignment of this crossbred gilt should be a Fuel Trick Daddy, quite frankly. Mom was memorable. I remember her. We were there at Perry that year. The Jada Dent showed and was grand overall there at the Winter National in 24. Grandma is a mate to picture this.
Power in the blood there at Bobles. And I think what's interesting is I get to talk this hog, which is great. And Ben wasn't going to probably prop up his stuff anyways. He's humble about his stock and just lets them talk for themselves. And he had a farm sale of 60 hogs or more. And this hog, it just speaks to the quality. He kept one of his very, very favorites back for this sale. Brings a loan entry. I think this Fuel deal is going to be awfully, awfully good. And I think that holds to this one's value because there's not many of them. This looks like a big ring gilt, guys. She's not quick. She's not tiny. She's not going to show in the very first class at your state fair. This one looks like she's going to be a contender at 285 pounds at a Midwest State Fair setting. She looks like she's a contender at the World Park Expo in her division. I think this thing's awfully, awfully good. Then you dip into her pedigree and talk about ROI on this gilt. I think she's one of the very best that have come through this ring just from a skeletal perspective. She's big, she's elevated, but she's still ready up high. I like this gilt quite well that Bubble brings you.
I do want to make one comment, Hunter. Her mom was one that Jade had that won the Georgia National, and she was more immature like this one as a young pig, and got to be just moderate and stout. So I think that this one's going to continue to get stouter, a little more immature than what our stuff normally looks like.
.458 here is next in the ring from Platte Show Pigs, and this crossbred gilt would be a high heat, wide awake, dirty secret, only gilt in the litter, and came from a bred purchase there from S&K, and very good litter, even though this is the only gilt, and I think one of the 2 cross boars that he's kept out of the entire crop this year would be a litter mate to this one.
Yeah, I mean, the whitetail gilt from Travis comes in out of a Stauffer bred, and if you haven't seen what Stauffer's done in the Barra Ring, and in the last 2 years, you must be hiding under a rock. And I would tell you, I agree 100% with Travis says. These high heats can be a little greener in terms of their muscle and their body shape, but I think this one's killer built from the side, right length of body, right length of hip. Gilt to me, it looks like she's going to feed very, very good, and then has a very high single in terms of just color and look. Really neat pig there from Platte.
We're going to drop in this last pair here, and this would be True Genetics. 459 is the red one. That's a Duroc boar, standing on business, statement day, backdraft. Mom raised the 4th D1 Duroc barrow at the Expo. That was shown by the Van Meter pig, very, very memorable. And she just produced the popular 4th overall D2 gilt San Antone. Grandma is the reserve D2 at both Louisville and State Fair. A lot of power in this pedigree. 460 would be the crossbred boar. That is an all-access, safety first, back it up. Mom is a mate to the reserve grand there at Texas National, showed by the Mabry girls.
I think we're going to wrap up with the last 2 of them, and I'm not sure we just didn't end with a bang, guys. True, I believe, has pigs in all the barns here, but I'm telling you what, these hit us like a ton of bricks, and I think are some of the very best that they're going to bring out. And I know they still got sales and online sales coming up. That just speaks to the quality that these guys can put together. We'll talk about the Red Bear first. Brian's on the far side, standing on business, statement day backdraft, excuse me. And we got a whole write-up about the winners of this one's done, but just that hog can speak for himself. That is a opened-up, stout, dense one that has real muscle to start with in a red barra. That's so hard to put in them at the end. If you fed red hogs, that looks like a feeder's dream. But just taking that one low and slow, that's a stoutie in terms of his arm, his skull, and his chest. And I'll talk about this cross barra that Dane's on. I'm not sure what the sale order is, but I'll fight that this one needs to be towards the top because of his moderation, his look, his design. I'm telling you what, guys, these things are presented absolutely impeccable, but if you can rip all the oil off them and just study the stock, this thing is absolutely elite in terms of his head, his arm, his skull. I love his frame size. I'm not sure where he fits in terms of a Midwest State Fair setting or if he stretches into fall. Last time I checked, guys, just buy quality stock and let them tell you when they want to show. That one looks like the kind to do it in the 460. All access, safety first, back it up from True.
That's the run through, guys. 60 head, and just to reiterate here, we will follow the Sweetheart sale. Time would be kind of TBD, 4-ish, maybe, Todd, give or take, maybe 4:30, 4. Yeah, sometime after that. We will do another quick walkthrough. So right when Sweethearts is done, we're just going to kind of walk through and call out tags. We'll start right into the sale. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to a great day.